Shout out to my boy Jeff. I know he wanted one. He wasn't able to get one. He's got a chance to get one now. I've already texted him and sent him this article.
Me and Jeff are going to be battling it out in those days.
So you guys are going to be battling out. Just tell Jeff to take the 12 o'clock. You take the 3 o'clock and see if you guys can get it, right?
What they don't tell you, there's only one console at every store available at that time.
All right, everyone, and welcome to the Next Gen edition of Game Wild, episode 44. Why is it Next Gen? Because everything still looks the same to us. It's because this week, you may be one of the lucky people who will receive an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5.
Or both.
Or both. Like, possibly me. Now, question of the week. Let's get right into it. Well, are you going to get your next-gen console on time?
So
there's one person who can answer this question, unfortunately. Actually, technically SJW can answer the question.
Yep.
Why don't you answer the question first?
So, yeah, technically I can't answer this because, you know what? I'm going to go with the positivity side of this. Positivity and go... Yeah, hell yeah, my next-gen console is going to come on time because I'm going to be that idiot sitting at the computer on the 10th and the 12th, refreshing the screen, trying to get my copy is more for a game, but my console, console, whatever you want to call it. Which we're going to go over in a second, why that is even possible now, which I never thought I'd be buying it from this particular vendor, but I guess I got to do what I got to
do. To be fair, nor did I. And so I can only give you an update on the Xbox because the Xbox comes out on Tuesday. We are currently recording Sunday morning early because we need to get this podcast out, and SJW and I have both been very busy over this weekend, but we've woken up at the crack of dawn to make sure that this comes out on Monday morning so you guys are informed. It is dedication in its fullest. So I have Amazon for my Xbox Series X, and it says that it is arriving on Tuesday. So there are no delays. The fear and the fright that they wanted to instill in everyone about that email, well, at least it didn't happen to me. I don't know if it happened to anyone else. Please comment, send us a message, join our Facebook group, and let us know if you, unfortunately, were one of the select people who were unable to get their Xbox Series X on time, but pre-ordered it. And I think that was the reason why we asked this question, is because there was so much speculation. There was so much concern about the fact that if you were one of the lucky ones to be able to beat those bots and get one of those systems from one of the vendors that screwed up how to pre-order it throughout the entire day of both launch days, and then getting a message of you went through all this hell, you took all this time to try to get these systems, to then get a stupid message from some of the vendors saying, hey, listen, we know you got your system pre-ordered, but we can't guarantee that you're going to get it on time. You do have one locked in. It's just you might not get it on launch day. We apologize for the inconvenience, and if you would like, you could cancel your order. Screw you, I'm going to cancel my order. You know how hard it was to get one? I'm going to lock that in. If I get one, I'm going to get one. Don't tell me that I should cancel my order. Screw you.
Okay, but, all right, so you're saying you got the email. You said Amazon said it's going to be there by like 2 p.m. on Tuesday?
I don't no, it's your typical before 8 o'clock Amazon.
Okay, so, but... What are the percentage chances that you think right now for Amazon that you are actually going to get that console on Tuesday?
I don't think Amazon would say that it's arriving on Tuesday if they weren't going to be able to. Be
careful with your words, though. Like, I agree. I think for the most part, I think Amazon is who I trust most to get me my stuff on time. Yes.
Well, let me tell you why. Because they were so careful about this situation that they warned people that they wouldn't get it, that I don't think that they would be so bold to predict that you're going to get it and then pull you back. Like, all right, so let me tell you, I worked in video games for a couple of years. I worked at a video game retail store. Okay, so I
Yeah.
know how this works. All right, Amazon has the stock already. Amazon got the stock probably on Thursday or Friday, so they could do their allocations. The system doesn't magically get shipped out the same day type situation. Retailer, retail stores and big box stores get it days in advance
Hmm.
to be able to do it. When we got the Xbox 360, this is going back how far when I used to work at a retail store. It was at least 4 days prior to the actual launch day, if I remember correctly. We got it about like 3 or 4 days before launch. So we had to sit on these systems, and the PlayStation the same, PlayStation 3 the same, the Wii the same. We had to sit on those for a few days. Okay, so think about the fear of that. Okay, you have these hard things. You got them in your back room. You got to keep them secure. You got to make sure no one
Take one
screws with them.
home. It's fine.
So, but they're there. So I have 99.9 confidence, and the only reason I say that just because of the fact that with everything happening in this world, I don't take anything to chance. But the fact that it changed on Friday, the update happened on Friday, led me to believe that they got the shipments from the vendor, so they got
So they can confirm
Microsoft
it.
sent out the Xboxes to Amazon.
Yep.
Amazon received them, allocated all of the pre-orders that they could, and then posted it on your account and said, "This is arriving on Friday." So it's in their warehouses now. Now they have to ship it. So unless something unforeseen happens, I don't think Amazon is putting stuff on people's accounts and saying you're going to get it on Tuesday unless they physically have it and are preparing to ship it for you. So I'm not saying that they posted that without the knowledge of them saying we actually have inventory for this for you. So that's what I'm saying. And I have to base it off of my experience.
I'm just throwing it out there because I feel like we've had so many issues with every single time something was purchased for either of these systems anyways that I don't even necessarily say that there might be an issue based on stock. I think what you just explained seems accurate, right? But I think it could even just be an issue where they're like, oh shit, we actually oversold, or the system incorrectly calculated, or the programmer, blah 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 blah, whatever happened with the system is really more what I'm worried about because of the bots, because of, in the case of Xbox, the Series X versus Xbox One, or whatever that whole issue was, because the names sound similar. So, I don't know. I just, fingers crossed. Like, I hope you get it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I said, it says that it's gonna arrive. Like I said, I'm giving it 99.9% chance. There's always that small.
99.9. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's high, but I'm being optimistic because we now have an optimistic future to look forward to. So
Here's the question:
I'm optimistic about it.
if you get it,
Yeah.
do you just throw it up on eBay or something?
No.
Because I that's another solid question, because I feel like a lot of people, depending on the availability of this, are going to try to flip them on eBay because of the demand, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, no, it's definitely possible, and that's going to go back to the next article we have. And so let me speak real quick to the PlayStation. So I don't know about the PlayStation yet because PlayStation comes out on Thursday. So most likely I won't hear anything from Walmart. Yes, I got my PlayStation 5 from Walmart, my unexpected place.
Mhm.
But Walmart's coming in strong. Walmart is coming in strong with the next gen consoles. And why do I say that? Well, because let's move into our first article. Walmart is going to have a wave of Xboxes and PlayStations available for purchase, not pre-order anymore, because they're technically going to be available for purchase on the respective launch dates. So what does this mean exactly for our listeners slash viewers who were unable to get an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 on the pre-order days?
This is good.
And so this is really good.
Mhm.
This is steps that they're taking now. It's not going to be perfect. Hopefully there won't be tons of scumbags out there trying to bot it again, but most likely there will be. So
Yeah, there will be.
be prepared. this is what I did, people, and this is what you should do. Make sure you're logged into your account. Make sure you have a credit card saved. Make sure you still have that credit card handy, because if I remember correctly, with Walmart, they require you to put the CVV code in, even if the card is saved. So you do have to have the card handy or memorize that 3 or 4-digit code, depending on if you have Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, etc. So for me, what I would do, this is what I did to make sure and to ensure that I got at least locked into the pre-order, is make an account.
Yeah.
Put a credit card that you know has enough money on it to make the purchase.
Times like 5. Just in case.
Yeah, right, exactly. Have that credit card handy with the CVV code visible, so you can type it in really quick, because I'm talking about you need to be lightning speed accurate with everything if you want to get this done. Next thing, number 2, do not worry about the fact that it says whatever it's going to say. Keep pushing through, keep trying. That's what I did, and that's how I was able to get it. I think it took me about an hour at Walmart to get my PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And it was just like continuing clicking and stuff like that, and I don't know how it's going to be, because they're talking about stock now and not pre-orders availability, so I'm not sure if it's going to be different.
So I got a question for you, because you obviously did this for Walmart and for Amazon. So Amazon, when you did Amazon, did you have to do it
Amazon was actually Amazon was actually much smoother. So Amazon was a situation where the page kept saying oops, like it's not there. And then when it launched, I actually got right through.
Oh, okay.
Once the Xbox Series X page was up, I got right through it.
And
but I think it was because Amazon didn't do it right at launch time when they said they were going to launch pre-orders. So there were a lot of people that were not on that page. And then the fact that when people started to hear that it was launching, you were getting errors. So I just probably was lucky and got through. And but for the Walmart one, it was definitely diligence. But you have to understand that on the Xbox one, I went through Target, Walmart, and Best Buy.
You had them all up.
Or I had them all up, and I was successful at Amazon. So
I guess so. My other question for you then is going to be, so Amazon seems like it went through okay, and it just gave you the error page. Walmart seems like it actually gave you an internal page on their website that you had to keep refreshing, like there was an issue.
Yeah. So basically it was just like, this is not available kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it became available again if you kept trying, and you were able to get it.
So was there an issue with, and I know people are going to be concerned about this, and this is kind of why I make that joke about, all right, make sure whatever credit card you're using has 5 times the amount. Did you get multiple holds on your card because of just jamming that buy button? They didn't do that to you?
No, because you weren't even getting to a point where you could buy it. So your error messages weren't coming up when you were able to purchase it.
Oh, adding it to the cart was when it came.
Adding it to the cart was the problem. So
that's big.
Once it was in the cart, I was able to buy it. It was getting it in the cart.
Okay. It's like physically being in the store and having to push people over to get it from the aisle.
But no, to your point, but then, and this is valid, I got to the point where I put the CVV code in and it wasn't available because I didn't prepare for that. And so I got pushed back to the start, and then I had to start all over again. And this time I was prepared, and I got it. So.
And that didn't charge your card multiple times?
Nope. As a matter of fact, it just put a hold because I still haven't seen the charge. I'm assuming it's going to hit once they
sell it. Yeah. And,
it's fine.
All right. So and I asked because I've had times in the past too where I've done stuff like that online, and because of errors, actually one time, and this was a really long time ago, I imagine they might have straightened it out with most POS systems online now, but I had to call the company physically because it showed I clicked the button a few times and that same sort of stuff happened, but then it actually showed 4 charges on my credit card. I was like, whoa, hold up here. I don't want 4 of these. I only want 1. So
yeah, well, in this case, you probably would be happy again.
I probably would be. Oh yeah, I'd be okay with 4.
So, even with that being said, I think you'd be all right, because even if you did get charged, the charge went through, which means that you're going to get the product.
Yeah.
Whether you get the product on time is another story. So now that we've kind of gone through the preparation, let me tell you what's happening from Walmart's perspective. So hopeful PS5 purchasers will have 4 chances. That's it. 4 chances on that day to snag the next-gen console on Thursday. The PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition will be available to purchase at Walmart at these times Eastern Standard: 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. As usual, expect stock to be extremely limited, especially as Walmart will be holding back units to have enough for each wave. So there is no prediction on how many will be available. The only thing we can say 100% for sure is that at 12, 3, 6, and 9 on Walmart.com on November 12th, you will have the opportunity to purchase a PlayStation 5 in either the disc version or the digital version. So good luck to anyone who still hasn't gotten it that wants to get it on that day. Shout out to my boy Jeff. I know he wanted one. He wasn't able to get one. He's got a chance to get one now. I've already texted him and sent him this article.
Me and Jeff are going to be battling it out in those days.
So you guys are going to be battling out. Just tell Jeff to take the 12 o'clock. You take the 3 o'clock, and see if you guys can get it, right?
What they don't tell you, there's only one console at every store available at that time.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're going to do it, because obviously Best Buy had another wave last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. But it was like you had to pick it up at the store, and there was a lot of struggle going on there. So there were struggle buses on that one as well. So meanwhile, if you're hoping to get your hands on a Series X or S, you'll have 1 chance. So the PlayStation, they're saying we're going to give people 4 chances, but for the Xbox, we're really going to make it a Hunger Games situation. So you can buy either one of the consoles.
The visual. The visual I just got in my head of like people literally like bow and arrow killing each other to like go grab an Xbox.
I mean, we've all seen the videos on Black Friday. If we weren't in a COVID situation right now, we probably would see that at multiple locations, because instead of everyone buying it online, we would have actually been seeing them at stores. So unfortunately, COVID has changed this where it's online only, which has caused more and more people to lose out on it, quite frankly, because of the bots, because you can't have a bot at a physical store. So you're just battling with other people to get it. And in this case, which is fair, at least. With this, it's completely unfair, because you could be facing off against technology, which you'll never win. So just to finish up on that, listings will restock at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 10th. So you need to be ready at your computer for that one. For both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, there are suggestions being made that your Walmart account is up, payment information is all set up beforehand, like I had just said. I'm reading off of the article, obviously. So there you go, guys. We give you the information you need.
You need to act on it.
Get your systems. Now you just need to act on it if you haven't already. Because if you have been a Facebook group, if you have been with Game Wild since day one, when the launch stuff happened and the pre-orders happened, you would have been at ground level to get them, because we were working hard in conjunction with other sources to make sure you guys knew when the systems were going to be available for pre-order, which some of our listeners were lucky enough to get due to our actions, okay? Due to the fact that we let you know what was happening, you guys were able to get the pre-orders that you needed. Unfortunately, one of the people who run this show was unsuccessful, but the one that showed the dedication for this podcast, if he had as much dedication in the Legends of Runeterra stuff as he did for this podcast,
listen, on the 10th and the 12th,
he would have had it on the 10th and the 12th instead of fighting with everyone else to get one.
I would already have it. And that's the kind of value you get from listening to this podcast. You are able to be at the front of the line.
We throw shade at each other. And We give you up-to-date information on all the newest games and systems coming out so that you can procure one for your home.
So, all right, first off, I am going to be on top of this on the 10th and the 12th. So, you're taking all of that back if I actually get one on the 10th and the 12th.
No.
Because in all reality, if I get one on the 10th and the 12th, it does not matter about all the month prior that I missed it. Because I still got it on launch day.
Yeah, I mean, but the point is that it would be one thing if you even tried. You didn't even try on those.
I did try,
to my knowledge.
I tried. I tried. Well, the very first day, I barely tried. It was the second round of stuff that I really pushed hard, and I couldn't get
round 2.
Yeah, basically.
And then you just got totally.
Well, listen, and that should go to show our viewers how ridiculously hard it is to actually get these consoles right now. Now, the question I want to pose though, before we toss this topic and we go to the next one, is why I'm very curious as to why Xbox only has. Now, it's probably more of a Walmart thing than a Xbox or PlayStation thing, but why Xbox only has one time that you can get it as opposed to Sony having 4?
My guess is that PlayStation probably is allocating more. So let's just say exactly. So let's just say for the sake of argument, Microsoft is only going to be allocating 75,000 consoles. Mm-hmm. Of both, and let's just say for the sake of argument, it's both systems. So 75,000 X's, 75,000 S's. Let's say for sake of argument, Sony is going to have 200,000. So Walmart's like, all right, we'll allocate 50,000 per time slot. But because Microsoft's only giving out 75,000, we'll just do that in one shot.
I got it. Yeah, I mean,
that's my guess.
I guess
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't do that either, because they're obviously preparing for it. And just because Xbox comes out on Tuesday, doesn't make any sense to me on okay, well, they have more time for the PlayStation 1, but so my guess is it's allocations, and the size of those allocations allow them to do it in waves for the PlayStation, where the Series X and S, there isn't that much available, so they can't do it in waves.
Well,
because there's so little stock.
Theoretically, both consoles are not going to have huge availability because they're going to sell out. That's the theory. That's at least what's being sold to us, right? And
yes.
But I mean, if you look at most polls and most projections and stuff, they look at they're thinking that the PlayStation is going to outsell the Xbox basically 2-1. And if that's the case, those times would make sense to me. But if that's also the case, I also feel like Xbox should not, quote unquote, sell out. If it sells out, and in addition to the PlayStation selling out, I think it's a load of shit. And I think that Xbox is just trying to push that to make it seem like there's more of a demand for the system than it really is. Which companies do that all the time.
Yeah, of course. And you could be right, or you could also have to talk about the fact that there could be manufacturing issues. They say there weren't, but I'm sure it did affect something. So maybe Microsoft, unfortunately, didn't have.
If anything, I think there was more manufacturing issues on the side of PlayStation, right? I think, well, rumors anyways. There was more rumors that PlayStation had issues.
Yeah, and let's not forget, too, guys, one thing that we didn't mention so far that we'll mention right now. Best Buy is saying that they will have some available on Black Friday. Unfortunately, for those who would miss out, Black Friday isn't until November 27th. So that means you still have 2 weeks to wait, basically, to get it, or at least to get one available for shipment. And it's happening all over the place. I'm just going to digress for a second and let you know that I'm redoing my kitchen right now. And the fun part about redoing your kitchen is you get to buy new appliances. And yesterday, and we're basically going through Black Friday month, right? So November is so luckily you don't have to wait till Black Friday. So I bought a new Samsung SmartThings fridge. This is a family hub fridge. And I bought the new stove, right? So they're both smart stove and a smart fridge, right? And they were both for over $1,000 off, which was amazing. I got them for over 30% off each.
Yeah.
And but they're not shipping until December. So I
Feels
bought
bad.
them last night, but I will not get them till the week of Christmas. So that just kind of goes to show you the availability of these things, and
Yeah.
like, and this is stuff that's like out there. Like,
And it's
you
not
could
just
have
consoles.
you could have bought this at any time. It's just that, and it could be because of the price too, but because it was a great deal. And if anyone's looking for appliances or anything big, this is the month to do it, because I did a look in October and the numbers were completely different for obvious reasons, because November is the month where you buy these things. This is probably the best month to buy anything, and I still have to buy a microwave too. But the microwave isn't available in some places until February. So, and my
Yeah.
kitchen's going to be done before February, so I want to get it all in. But just because to show you like manufacturing and what's happening right now, that even stuff that like normal things that people buy are also affected by this, it looks like.
Well, and there's the curveball too that we actually, it's kind of the elephant in the room that we just haven't addressed yet, but COVID has
My kitchen?
seemingly
No.
no
sorry.
yeah your kitchen. COVID has seemingly gotten worse and
Yeah.
lately, so that is something that is an external factor that I don't think anybody's truly prepared for, because at any minute
We could get locked down again, and we could be in a bad
yeah.
situation. Yeah, no, I gotcha. And,
So-
and we hope it doesn't happen. And I think
For at
that
least
there is
5
some
days.
positivity. It could
least
be in
5
5
days.
days. But I think there's a lot of positivity. What's happened in the United States, at least as
Yeah.
of yesterday, we're going to have a new president. So hopefully things will be taken a little bit more seriously. Unfortunately, they can't implement anything until January, so we do still have to survive the next 2 months, which is probably where these lockdowns are going to happen.
During the holidays, gotta
So-
love it.
Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. But hey, what are you going to do? So let's move on to the next topic. SJW, you've been kind enough to find some more topics. I kind of wanted to push more of the
Oh yeah.
next gen stuff this week. You wanted to talk about some of the failings of the gaming world right now, and it looks like some newer or older games.
Well,
getting a fresh look.
yeah, one of them is I pulled that one up because it was just really surprising to me, the failing that you had mentioned, but not necessarily failing, just a bad earnings. But
Yeah, but
But-
that's a fail and for
Yeah.
a company like that. But we'll get back to that one. Spoiler alert, guys. It's called a tease. Keep on for it. But right now, we're gonna talk about a game that is getting remastered and a new one apparently being developed.
So this is a shout out. The reason I was drawn to this was because of a friend of mine, Kevin. So shout out to Kevin here, because I know he was
Big ups, Kev.
he was waiting for a while for this to finally get remastered. There's a lot of rumors that Mass Effect was going to be a thing again, that things were going to get remastered, that there was going to be, a 4K version or whatever it is. I personally have never really gotten onto the remastered bandwagon. If I played the game, I played the game. And that's about it. So I will probably not be buying this personally. But Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out, unfortunately, not until spring of 2021. So we got to wait a little bit. Man, I remember when 2021 seemed like it was forever away, and now it's literally this spring. That's crazy. And well, it used to be
Months
that
away.
2021 used to be what they would put in movies as like a spaceship movie, right? Like that was
Right.
that was the year you put in the movie. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it will be releasing on the PS5 and Xbox Series X with quote unquote targeted enhancements. And this is and they actually made a statement too. So as they release this game, BioWare actually made a statement as well about a new game, just a completely new Mass Effect. So the Legendary Edition is obviously a remaster of all the old games, but they are in the early stages of a new Mass Effect, which is pretty cool. And they have a supposedly quote unquote veteran team involved. Very excited to see that, because I don't know, Joe, have you played Mass Effect?
I have played Mass Effect. I haven't gone through the entire trilogy. However, more time and stuff like that. It's like you pick and choose the games that you put like the majority of your efforts into, and unfortunately, Mass Effect was just one of those games that didn't get the time and allocation that it needed. That goes along with other titles such as like Assassin's Creed, for
Yeah.
example. People will be like, how have you never played Assassin's Creed or haven't been playing tons of Assassin's Creed games and stuff? And it's just like,
Well,
you know what? Cool game, great, but I don't have a lot of time for it. So I really have to pick and choose what kind of locks me in. And as cool as Assassin's Creed was, as cool as Mass Effect was, there were other games at the time that I just liked more. And so
Yeah.
I just never ventured off the series because why am I going to spend money on something that I know I'm not going to play a lot when.
And as much as I love Assassin's Creed, it's
Yep.
just it's the same game over and over again. It's
Just different
it's not-
storylines.
Yeah,
and
it's just
stuff
different
like that, with a few
storylines.
enhancements on how you can like stealth kill people. And
Yeah,
stuff.
you have like cool equipment that you can use now. So
Which we will be getting into that as well.
yeah. So
Here's all that. We have tons of teases, whether
Yeah.
we wanted to actually do them or not.
So just to again clarify a little bit. So the Legendary Edition, which is what will be coming out this spring, it's going to boast 4K resolution support, higher frame rates, and beautiful visual enhancements. The 3 games, which will be included, include the single player based material and DLC, in addition to any promo gear that you might have gotten within the game. So pretty much everything you're getting there, as well as the 4K resolution support. I played Mass Effect. I don't think I beat all of them. I know I beat the first one. I'm trying to remember if I beat the second one. I mean, I know how the story goes because I think because I didn't have the time, similar to you, I cheated and I went online and I figured out how it ended. But great, amazing game. Highly recommend this. So if people have not played the entire series, I would recommend getting this version that comes out this spring. I think it's definitely a good purchase, especially if you've never played it. It's one of the better games of our time, of our generation, in the last 20 years or so. So I highly recommend picking this bad boy up.
Absolutely. So now we go into what we were talking about some of the failures that happened, and it looks like Square Enix, who does make Assassin's Creed. Wait, no, I'm sorry,
No.
that's Ubisoft. I'm
That's
sorry,
Ubisoft.
that's Ubisoft. I lie.
You were close.
It's early, guys. We're still early. We came up. The sun was still coming up as we were prepping for this podcast. Just to
It's
give
still
you how
coming up.
as early as it's been. It's Square Enix, which is a surprise, based off of how much hype was behind the Final Fantasy and remaster and all that stuff. So, why don't you take the lead on this one again, SPW?
So this is interesting. They specifically mention the Avengers game as well. So basically, the title of the article, to kind of skip right to it, Square Enix posted losses of $48 million following the release of Marvel's Avengers. So this is crazy to me for so many different reasons. Avengers itself is a huge name, and to not seemingly, I mean, that basically shows me that it didn't sell well, right? And
Yeah.
that seems really odd to me on the surface. So actually, let's start with that, because I know you're a Spider-Man fan, you're an Avengers fan. I know you like that stuff too. So what are your thoughts on people? Why wouldn't people flock to a game like Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers?
Guys, let's go back in time, because we love to go back in time, don't we?
What is this, Rick and Morty?
Let's go back. No, we don't do time travel in Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty does not do time travel.
Okay.
Let's go back, and I could dig up the episode. Okay, we talked about this before the game came out. When, guess what? Spider-Man is an exclusive to Sony, and I said, no, not a good idea, guys. Bad deal. The guy over here, but that's good business, man. That's great business. You got to get exclusives, man. This is how it goes. Blah, 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 blah. No. What it does is it alienates your people, okay? And people like me, who still haven't purchased the Avengers, who has an Xbox and a PlayStation, decided to abstain from getting the game for a couple of reasons. One, it wasn't amazing from what I hear. It was okay, good at best. And two, once again, you've alienated some of your people because you decided to give one of the greatest characters in Marvel history to one system only, which totally took away from any sales you could have gotten on any other console. And this is what you pay for. You pay for losses, my friend, for one, making a mediocre game, which I will put as part of probably the biggest reason, okay? I'm not going to take complete credit for the fact that they decided to make DLC characters for different systems or to my knowledge, only one specific character for one system, because I still haven't seen anything about they speculated about it, but I never even seen anything about, oh, we're gonna give you Doctor Strange and Black Panther specifically for Switch and for Xbox or whatever. But the point being here is that they pigeonhole themselves by saying we've made a mediocre game from what I hear, or an okay game, and we're not going to let all DLC characters be across platform. I think things like that caused the game not to get the momentum it needed to be able to sell well. Because to be honest with you, you need to have enough hype to get enough pre-orders together to make a good sell of the game. And then even if you fail and the game's okay, you've gotten so many pre-orders on it, you can at least get by, right? But there was so much hampering this game from when it first launched, people making jokes about how the Avengers looked, because everyone had an anticipation that the Avengers were going to look fairly close to their Marvel Cinematic counterparts, and they didn't. So that was a big deal. Then you have the exclusive DLC for PlayStation, and then you have a game that just didn't hit the marks in the place that people wanted to. And the sad part about it is this game definitely had the
potential.
Thank you. It had the potential to be to be tops, and it's not. So I'm not going to pat myself on the back like Barry Horowitz. If you guys ever watched wrestling back in the 80s, you would know there was a wrestler who's called Barry Horowitz, who used to have like a handprint on the back of his jacket because he used to give him a pat in his hand, but he was actually a jobber and he never won a match, which is what was ironic here. And I feel like this is the same way, right? The game failed. It gave itself a pat on the back because it was like, we have the Avengers. People are going to love it. We're going to exclude half of a good amount of our people because Spider-Man's only going to be on PlayStation, but we'll work through it and we'll make money. Well, this article is citing Marvel Avengers as being a flop, and I think all those things combined caused it to fail, which if you put a lot of money into something, which Square Enix must have, right? Think about the money they must have had to pay for the licensing for the Marvel characters. And even if you say, oh, well, they must have made something off of Sony, right? Because Sony must have been, not necessarily when it comes to a character that is, I don't know, I'm sorry, hit the mic there, but, is just an exclusive. I don't think they made as much as you think they did.
So this is all, I just, in reading some of these articles, there's a lot of reasons why they're saying so. And actually, just to put it into perspective as to how bad this game seems to be doing right now. And again, we talk about this game, like Joe said, this is a game that should have blown up for the most part. I mean, Avengers is very much a thing baked into society right now. Everybody loves the Avengers. Everybody loves Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all the Thor, all those good people, right? But this game, at the time when some of these articles came out, I think the one I'm looking at is Eurogamer right now, there were 798 people playing on Steam for this game. This is
extremely low.
Yeah, that's extreme. This is a game that has matchmaking. So here, if you don't know, when you have that low amount of people in matchmaking, it becomes hard to even do matchmaking. Generally because there's some sort of ranking system involved as well. So there's no way you're going to get paired with somebody that's not only playing at the same time, but also a similar rank to you. So
so I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you know, I forgot, how do you check to see how many people are playing on a game on Steam? Is there something in the Steam app that shows that, or do they have something special
I'm
going on?
pretty sure it's something in the Steam app. I don't generally check that, to be honest with you.
No, I was just gonna to give our people reference here. I was gonna look up some games that are actually just multiplayer faced, just to give people an idea. And I'm just trying to look up on my Steam app on some of the games that I've played in the past that are multiplayer only, and see if I have anything in regards to those numbers.
Yeah, I'm searching right now, and it doesn't, I can't see where it would be. I'm sure it's somewhere probably stupid. I just generally am not looking at how many people are playing, because you know what? I play a game because I want to play. I don't care about how many people are playing it. But anyways, so like I was saying, 798 people. That's really low. So here's my thing. maybe we could argue back and forth forever about whether or not the Spider-Man content is good or bad, if it alienates the audience, yada yada.
I'm gonna take that as a win.
Okay, so I still think it wasn't necessarily a bad decision, but here's the issue, and this is where I think this game is headed, and I do think this game is headed for a good direction. So this game, basically, they're saying they lost a lot of money on the original sale of the game. So to put it in perspective, in the first quarter of 2021, Square Enix made a crap ton of money. Why? What came out in the first quarter of 2021, you ask, for Square Enix? Well, it was this thing called the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So they made a shit ton of money. So that game did really well. Wow, big surprise. Wasn't expecting that. So then we have the second quarter. This is where Marvel's Avengers came out. And that's where they started losing money. Supposedly, from what people are saying, they only made back 60% of what they spent on the game, give or take. So, like, if they spent, $100 million on creating this game, they only made $60 million off of sales and whatnot, and actually lost, $40 million. So, however the numbers work out, I don't know. But either way, 60%, not good. So now here's the deal. If you remember, and I'd have to do my research for exact numbers, but a very long time ago, when Final Fantasy XIV came out, Final Fantasy XIV is the MMO Final Fantasy. This game was garbage. It was terrible. I still am not in love with Final Fantasy in comparison to something like World of Warcraft, but as it currently stands today, the game is a bajillion times better. All right, it's tons of people play it. It has a fan base that actually competes with World of Warcraft. It is the second biggest MMO, and to me, that's the direction that Marvel's Avengers is going to take. They're going to patch updates. They're going to do what they got to do to fix the game. Spider-Man will probably eventually come out on other places as well. Like, it is what it is. But I think that's, for some reason, and I don't know if it's because of World of Warcraft, I feel like these games have a harder time entering the market because people just don't adopt them right away. Because that's a big time investment, right? I mean, when you're playing a game like that is a lot of time. It's like Destiny. Like, when I bought Destiny, I have to, be okay internally with dedicating, 50 hours to a game almost immediately. Because a game like Destiny, right, you want to beat it right away. So I think that's the route that this game is on. I think it's going to be a while before this makes headlines again as a good game. They're going to have to make some updates. They're going to have to make some changes. More people are going to have to get interested. But I remember a day where Final Fantasy XIV was also having shit numbers for people playing the game. And it was basically just losing. They were bleeding money at that point with that game. So I think that'll happen with Avengers. I think releasing it alongside Final Fantasy VII Remake hedges their risk a little bit so they can make the money back on the remake. So all in all, yeah, I think give it 5 years. I know that sounds like a lot, but give it 5 years, and I think we'll be good. They're delaying the release on the PS5 and the Xbox One, Series X because of this a little bit as well. So yeah, we'll see how that impacts it.
Just to give you guys some case of reference, the top 10 games on Steam being played right now. Number 1 has 896,000 players. The second most is 618,000. The least out of the top 10 has 76,000 people playing right now. These are all, by the way, games that you can play multiplayer. But that just goes to show you that they were under. How much was the Avengers game again?
798.
Under 1,000. And the most popular game being played right now on Steam is Counter-Strike Global Offensive at 896,000 people, followed up by Dota 2 at 618,000. Yeah. So that just goes to show you that you're going to have trouble. The Among Us crowd, just for our fans who love Among Us, 89,000 people playing Among Us right now. But the peak of Among Us is 343,000.
You know what surprises me on this? There's
that's today, by the way. That's not over a certain. That's today.
Yeah, and I think I'm looking at the same list you're looking at now. So
I googled it. That's how I found it.
Third is PUBG. Fourth is GTA 5. What surprises me? We have Ark Survival Evolved in the top 10 and Rust. Yeah. I'm actually really surprised about Ark.
There's still a hardcore fan base for those games, so I'm not surprised that there's those are probably the people that stream it 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, and Rust. Have you ever played Rust?
Yeah, I hated it. It was the worst.
I see.
Like,
I've never played it, but I've heard good things about it. You don't like it?
well, I don't like it because I had a bad experience because I started off and people were already sniping me, and I'm like, how? What's the fun? I don't have anything for you to take. I have a fucking stick and a rock. It's killing me. Like seriously, like it's not like I have like epic stuff that you can rob off my fucking body. I have nothing. People are just being d-bags.
And for the listeners, you actually do start off with a stick and a rock.
Yeah. So the reason I even played Rust is because I ran into a humble bundle where it was supporting cancer research, so I bought it, and it was like and it had Rust in it, so whatever. That actually was the biggest game that was in the humble bundle, but.
So yeah, it's always interesting looking at these lists. And Apex Legends up there too. So lots of good games, obviously, and Rocket League, which I play a lot, is 14th on this.
So moving on, we're going to have this segment, What a Legend of Runeterra, where SJW is going to deep dive into stuff that's happening in Legend of Runeterra, and apparently there was a big tournament that happened.
Yeah.
SJW, why don't you tell me, why don't you give the listeners kind of a quick recap, because we are running up against it. So give us a quick recap so we can hit up Ruffhouse deals and the game releases.
Yeah, and well, the game releases I'm gonna speed through a little bit today as well, just because most of these game releases that we're gonna go through are just things getting re-released on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So we'll just go over those and have a discussion real quick on kind of what our favorite games are with that. But so just really quickly wanted to touch on this because it is happening this weekend. The Legends of Runeterra EU Masters tournament is this past weekend. It is the first official Riot-based, really big competitive tournament. I think the prize is somewhere around. I actually don't know the prize off the top of my head. I think it's around like $20,000 or something like that. So it's a pretty big tournament as far as that's concerned. We had a lot of people streaming it over this past weekend. I was streaming a different tournament, so I ended up casting that instead. I did put my name in the hat to cast this actually, and unfortunately, they went with Mega Mogwai and Impetuous Pando, which are two very well established casters in the gaming industry. So they did an amazing job. It was really fun watching them. So if you guys are following this game at all, definitely tune in. It will be on again today at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And basically, it's all the countries in Europe. They all have their top 3 players that were from ranked ladder. So this is all based off of the game itself. When you play on ladder, and you go up ranks. If you got in the top 3 for your country, they tracked which country everybody was from. If you got in the top 3, you qualify to be on your country's team for this tournament. And then they put the teams in groups, and then they go through a tournament as you usually would with pools and groups of people, and then we'll see who fights and comes out on top. Lots of people that I'm used to working with on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure I recognized like every name in the tournament, so it's pretty cool seeing everybody that I know be in this tournament and go head to head for those prizes there. Listen, all I want to say is Legends of Runeterra as of late is killing it. It's still very much it's not like nearly as popular as something like Hearthstone. It's still on the up and up, but you gotta remember, we are still in the first year of this game. And for the first year of this game, already having this much tournament support from Riot themselves, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it.
It's not a surprise, right? Because Riot also has League of Legends, which is a spinoff of this, obviously, why it's called Legends of Runeterra. And so they're used to this stuff, right? They're used to competitive multiplayer gaming. And so it's not a surprise to me that within its first year, it's trying to ramp it up because it really needs to make a push for it. SJW, I just want to roll back to one thing you said. When you said 9 a.m. today, did you mean the day we're recording, or did you actually mean when this podcast drops on Monday there will be?
I always do that. Yeah, so this would have actually been 9 a.m. yesterday by the time you guys hear this.
Which is Sunday, so November 8th. I just wanted to clarify because I don't want someone
going in and then
get excited and be like, it's Monday at 9 a.m. I'm going to stream this while I'm working.
If you do want to tune in, it's basically every week leading up until the last week of November with the finals, Saturday, Sunday, same time. So every week for the rest of this month, you should be able to tune in. So there you go. There's at least one point that you can tune in there. But it is. They are used to League of Legends competitive scene. And actually, with that said, quick update on something I read the other day. They're actually changing the way the NALCS works. There's a lot has been going on in League of Legends. Actually, the Players Union, similar to like the NFLPA, for Players Association, for the LCS is no longer being supported by Riot. So this isn't a bad thing, because they said when they first, like, financially, they said when they first started it that they were eventually gonna, cut ties, but they are no longer financially supporting the LOLPA. I think it actually is it's the LOL NALCSPA. Wow. Because of
that's a mouthful for anyone.
It's pretty nuts. So yeah, that happened, and then they're changing it so there's actually going to be more games each season now, because there used to be a spring split and a summer split. Now it's just one long season, and there's actually more games than if you combine spring and summer together. Gotcha. So awesome. Lots of interesting stuff happening in the competitive esports world.
So, with that being said, everybody, it's time for Ruffhouse Deals. And a challenge was made to me last week. If you haven't been, there was a challenge made because it's like, Joe, you've been giving out this great content, but pretty much we have regular listeners, they're probably already on Epic Games because they've downloaded other games, so they know what's going on. And I try to keep it real for all of my fans out there, because we may have people who are new to the podcast, and to be honest with you, it is very, very difficult to find free games on the market. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to find deals. But listen, it's November, and what November means is you fall into a pot of gold of all sales, free stuff. So we are going to put this in the description. It is a link to PCMag.com. They have released an article where you can get all the best free PC and console games that you can claim for the month of November. Now, this is going to range. It's going to be a little different than what Ruffhouse Deals usually is, because this article has deals that range from stuff where it's free, which means all you have to do is sign up for something, and you don't have to pay for it, and you get the free game. And it's also going to have any type of free games that you get with Xbox Live subscription, with PlayStation Plus subscription, in all that stuff. So I'm not going to actually go over any of them because we are crunched for time, unfortunately, but it is going to be in the link. The link is going to be in our descriptions for all of our podcasts and all of our YouTube stuff. So please check it out. It is going to be great. And I'm also going to do one thing that I think is going to be fun. So we've made fun of one game. Throughout this time for the next gen launch, and that game is Bug Snacks. It's free. It's going to be free for PlayStation Plus members. I am going to sign up. I am not a PlayStation Plus member, but I am going to sign up for the free, because I'm going to have a PlayStation 5, so usually you get like a free 14-day trial of PlayStation Plus. I'm going to sign up for PlayStation Plus, and I am going to download Bug Snacks. I'm going to play it just to see what happens. So possibly look forward to a review section in next week's podcast about what is all the hype for Bug Snacks. I will probably try to get that game and download it for free. And take away from my Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay time to
just to play
inform the people on whether or not Bug Snacks is actually the dumbest game that I've ever thought could be made, or did somebody come out with something unique and special that I'm surprised is addicting, because it could go either way. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, the game could go either way. It really could. But so please just check out that link in our description. There's tons of free games in there, old and new, for you to snack on.
So, I like what you did there. So, and actually reading that article, I didn't realize Warcraft 3 Frozen Thrones is free on Battle.net. Like, you could just straight up download Warcraft 3, the old school version. Now, Reforged is Reforged, you have to pay for it, but it's just a remake.
You get these, but look at that, you guys get cool little tidbits like that.
Warcraft 3, that's a pretty good free game. So
from Ruffhouse Deals, challenge accepted. It's been done.
You have excelled.
I have excelled, as I normally do when someone challenges me.
Rose to the occasion.
I rose to the occasion. This week was a week of many of those. And this is just the final one, hopefully, of this. Well, technically, this is a new week, so we'll see what happens.
Technically, does the week
continuing the trend on Saturday?
Does your week end on Sunday or Saturday?
Technically, it would end on a Saturday. If you're going by like what weeks usually start on Sundays, and
I feel like I always.
We're recording on a Sunday, so that's technically it. But I get it. You feel like your work week is what starts. Your week actually ends on a Friday. Then you have your weekend week, which is a different. Yeah, but whatever. Case may be. Let us push forward, my good friend. It is time for SJW's game releases. What do you got?
All right, so gonna blow through these real quick with everybody because there are a lot here, and again, a lot of these are just being re-released on the new consoles. Oh, by the way, you did remind me about Bugsnax. I actually think that's a really smart move by Sony to make a lot of buzz around such a stupid game and then say, oh, by the way, it's free.
Right.
I think that's actually
for a limited
really smart.
time if you're a PlayStation Plus member. So please note that it's not a free game forever. It is a PlayStation Plus membership perk that you will get. So you will have to pay for the membership unless, like I said, you're probably going to get like a free trial with the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I haven't signed up for it yet. I've never been a PlayStation Plus member, so I'm actually in a unique position to get it for free, really for free, because I can just put in the trial.
So for free. So speaking of Assassin's Creed, you getting Valhalla?
No.
Oh, well, I actually don't think I am either.
Yeah, no, it's coming out on the 10th. I see here.
Yeah, so you guys can pre-order now to get it for the newer consoles as well as the older consoles. Actually, is this? Sorry, that's right. Valhalla is not going to be on release. So Valhalla will be coming out for PS5 and Series X, but the ones listed here, or maybe it was only PS5. Was it only PS5?
Yeah, because you have Series X on here. So I think
Series X is on there.
Been delayed.
I think it was just PS5 that was delayed. So I know it was one or the other that was delayed, but that comes out November 10th for everything else. So if you have an older system, you can definitely pick it up. All right.
Yep.
Some of the Xbox Series X games coming out. We got Borderlands 3. This is all November 10th.
Which, by the way, just real quick on that one, I do own Borderlands 3, and I'm going to be interested to see when I open up my Xbox Series X if I can download.
If you can play it.
If I can play it as a Series X game enhanced. So keep an eye on that. I'm going to check into that one as well for you guys. Yeah. I want people to know. I might put up a video for my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5 on the Ruffhouse YouTube channel. So please keep an eye out for that because it'll get you informed on all that stuff.
Joe's about to take some PTO off this week. So, so we have Borderlands 3. We got Bright Memory. We got Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Dirt 5, Enlisted, Evergate, The Falconeer, Fortnite, of course, why not? Gears Tactics, which is actually pretty cool that'll be out. Lift Off Drone Racing, Maneater, which we saw at PAX, which I still think that's a great game, so that's cool that's coming out on the 10th for release. NBA 2K21, which is that the game? I think NBA 2K21, if I'm not mistaken, has a female WNBA that you can play within the game now.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were going to say that was the game that spurred the $70.
That is also the game that spurred the $70, yeah. No Man's Sky.
I don't know that. Nice.
No Man's Sky is actually really good now. That's another example of a game that wasn't that great when it released. They made updates and changes, and now it's a lot better.
Which I actually own, and one of my other buddies own. We played it back in the day, so on Steam.
Observer System Redux is also coming out for PC, and in addition to Xbox Series X. And again, all these are Xbox Series X. Planet Coaster Console Edition, also coming out for PS4 and Xbox One. Sakuna of Rice that's a PC. I'll go over that in a second. Tetris Effect Connected for Xbox Series X and Xbox One. Warhammer Chaos Bane, Watch Dogs Legion, the Xbox Series X itself, because obviously that needs to get included on this list here, and the Series S. 13 Remake is actually just for PC, PS4, and Xbox One on the 10th. Yakuza Like a Dragon will also be on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And that's the 10th. So the other, I think there was only a couple I missed here. Destiny 2 Beyond Light also comes out on the 10th for everything else. Everything. And then the Falconeer also for PC and Xbox One. And Fuser also comes out on the 10th. PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And I think that covers all those. So now, the 12th. Now we're in PS5 territory. What do we got coming out on the 12th? Looks like we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Again, Astro's Playroom, which also, if I remember correctly, comes downloaded on the PS5 already for free, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
I believe.
No, keep going. I'll find out.
Borderlands 3, Bugsnax, as we just talked about, which is also coming out for PC and PS4 on November 12th. Demon Souls, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, which that's pretty huge. It's coming out release day. Dirt 5 again. We also have Fortnite, Godfall, which is, I know a lot of people are looking forward to that as one of the premier titles on release. Maneater, again. Good old Miles Morales, also coming out for PS4. NBA 2K21 again. No Man's Sky, Next Generation. Observer, System Redux. Overcooked, All You Can Eat. The Pathless, also coming out for PC and PS4. Planet Coaster, again. The PS5 itself, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, also coming out for PS4. Unturned, that's actually PS4 and Xbox One on November 12th. Watch Dogs Legions again. WRC 9 for PS5. And Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Is that? All right, yeah, that's actually also... So that's coming out on the 13th for PS5 and Xbox Series X. So just barely after release randomly. But
Nice.
Did you find an answer to Astro's Playroom?
Yep. Game is free for all PlayStation 5 console use. Is designed to be enjoyed by gamers and families alike. A system software update may be required.
So a couple other games on the 12th. We got Esports Life Tycoon, which I actually am oddly interested in that just because I'm so involved in esports. I'm curious as to how they built that out. That's for PS4 and Xbox One on the 12th. Family Feud, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia on the 12th. Farming Simulator, Alpine Farming Experience, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Handball 21, PC, PS4, and Xbox One on the 12th. Just Dance 2021 for everything. PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. If you're watching the YouTube video, you'd see Joe dancing. And not very well. And I think that's it for the Unturned, which I just said. And then Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered for the Switch on the 13th, and Rune 2 Decapitation. Wow, that was a hard one for me to read at first. I don't know why I wanted to say like decapitulation or something like that. You know what it is? I think one of the languages I've watched Legends of Runeterra in, capitulation is surrendering. So I wanted to read capitulation there, and so that's November 13th for PC. And that's going to round up all the games coming out for PS5 and Xbox Series X on launch day.
Spider-Man? Did you say Spider-Man?
I said Miles Morales, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. I might have been when I was looking.
I didn't say Spider-Man. I said Miles Morales. That's probably why you missed it.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, so. But that's it, everybody. That's all, folks. I haven't seen that in a while. Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, right. We want to thank everyone for coming along. Make sure you ring that bell if you're on YouTube. 5 stars on any of the platforms, podcasts that you listen to. Write a review for us if you have the time. And join our Facebook group as per usual. And within that Facebook group, you can also join our Discord if you'd like. We thank you guys, and hopefully you will be playing a next-gen console the next time you listen to us.
Hopefully. Later, everybody.
See you later.